And welcome back to the final session of this promotional event, I guess you would call. And this is a discussion about tariffs. And I want to make a correction. I choose not to edit these videos for a reason. I want them to be natural and my own thought paths without a whole lot of notes or anything like that. I want to be able to show that I can discuss any topic in some amount of detail. But I want to make a correction. The previous post, I cited an article by fee.org, and I said that Eric Boehm wrote it, and that's not correct. Eric Boehm wrote the article I'm referencing for the tariffs on reasonmagazine.com, okay? So, first of all, I would like to call out some hypocrisy, because I've seen this all over social media on a daily basis. Just go to Google right now if you're against the Donald Trump tariffs, and I am vehemently against them. That's socialism like any other socialistic activity by the government. Go ahead and Google Obama steel tariffs, Obama tire tariffs, Obama solar panel tariffs. Okay, he did the same thing. I believe George W. Bush also imposed steel tariffs. Okay. Don't be a hypocrite. If you're against the Trump steel tariffs, be against the Obama steel tariffs. There are some reasons for those tariffs on the Obama end that are different from the reasons that Trump provides. I could do another blog about those if anybody's interested. They're all bad reasons, okay? If I make the comment, no government should ever intentionally increase the price of goods and services that we consumers choose to buy, I would not get a lot of disagreement. And yet that's exactly what a tariff is, regardless of who that tariff is employed by, okay? It's also the same argument for Medicare for all approach, okay? Governments are you have to add layers of administration and paperwork and tax law. Those all cost money. They're intentional increases in the price of goods and services. You have to be against all of them if you're going to stand for principle, okay? So, the first part of this that I would like to discuss is the aluminum tariff. Okay, it's a 10% tariff if I remember correct, but you can Google the reason.com article by Eric Boehm, B-O-E-H-M, and it's well cited. So Alcoa Aluminum is a factory, large factory, not far from where I live, over across the border in Tennessee, and my uncle actually used to work there. It's a place I'm very familiar with. All right, Alcoa Aluminum requested, I think this is almost a year ago now, special relief on aluminum tariffs, and they cited for that reason that 3 of the types of aluminum that they require to make some of their products are actually not produced here in the U.S. at all, and another 2 of the types that they use are not produced in high enough quantity. So it's interesting. It was interesting for me to learn that an aluminum producer actually uses other people's aluminum to make some of their products. And even according, which is cited in the article, even according to President Tim Reyes, Alcoa president, even if all aluminum factories in the U.S. were unregulated and at full capacity, we would still import the majority of the aluminum that's used in the United States, okay? I'm just calling out one industry in this particular segment, but you can't apply a tariff and not expect it to have negative consequences, and then not expect companies that use those products to seek relief, because they are punitive, and that should be a perfectly understandable thing. I want to add this: if you're a socialist and you're against the idea of profits and profit seeking as a goal, for the main goal for businesses, you should love this, okay? Alcoa announced almost immediately, as soon as they ran the numbers, that they expected lower quarterly profits and lower fiscal year profits at the end of the year, which matters to their stakeholders, their investors, and anybody that works for them, really. And it's cited in the article, it already cost Alcoa approximately $15 million a year to transport aluminums as they import and export. Okay, these tariffs are going to add to those costs. But if you're a socialist and you're not for this, you probably don't understand socialism as well as you think. If the idea is to abolish at least a certain level of property, profits are property earned by a business. Doesn't matter if it's Donald Trump and you hate Donald Trump, you should be for this, okay? But that's a separate conversation. So, in case you haven't also read, the agricultural industry in the United States also sought requests, and I believe that's already been handled via legislation promises, but more than $12 billion in additional assistance because the tariffs hurt the agricultural industry. I can't think of an industry that we would want to hurt less than those who produce and provide our food. We shouldn't be subsidizing anything, but anytime that we get to a point where we apply additional costs to those who provide the basic life necessities, which hunger is a pre-existing condition, we're going down the wrong economic path there. Okay, the latest little complaint that President Trump offered in his visit and squabble with the French President Macron is that the U.S. applies virtually zero tariffs to imported French wines, but France applies massive tariffs to U.S. wines coming into France. Not fair. That's what the tweet said. Not fair to who? Is it not fair that U.S. consumers are able to buy wines from France that they want to drink for lower prices? Of course that's fair. The consumers have deemed it fair simply by making those purchases. What's not fair is adding an additional cost intentionally to the consumer for the good or service that they want to buy. It doesn't make any sense for any government anywhere on planet Earth to intentionally add costs to products. But if you're a socialist, that's the conclusion you have to arrive at. Alright? So it bothers me a great deal, the hypocrisy here when people rail on the Donald Trump tariffs. It's because they don't like Donald Trump. Well, I don't really like Donald Trump either. He's not a high character guy. But you need to be against something in principle, not because of who's doing it. If President Obama were in charge of the implementation of these tariffs, I guarantee you the same friends that I have that are coming out against the Trump tariffs would be in support of the Obama tariffs. It's the black hat, white hat argument. I don't mean the color of the skin. It's these guys are good guys and these guys are bad guys and these guys have good intentions and these guys have bad intentions. Adding costs intentionally to goods and services that humans want to purchase for themselves is a bad economic policy. That's all I have to say about that, on the tariffs, and I hope that more questions are brought forth, and I hope that you can, if you're watching this one, that you can cite other industries that are receiving assistance because the tariffs affected them negatively. Please provide those for me, and I'll be glad to write articles about them and highlight those individual cases. I hope you've enjoyed this series, and I hope that many of you have chosen to watch one of these promotional videos. Thank you. Have a great day.